guap, big guap, big guap, big guap.
Yes, back at you for the market recap.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again with another one. Before we even get started with this bad boy, you better hit that subscribe button. You better hit that like button. You better share this with your grandma. It's been a bloody week, everybody. I know if you're like us, your portfolio has been hurting just a little bit. Just a little bit of bleeding. I know mine's
ran out of Band-Aids.
We had to go grab some napkins from down the street. It's been a really showing week. These past 2 months, we've just been running up, and it's really just indicative that we are well off of our EMAs. We need to do a little bit of a pullback so that we can consolidate for a little bit, and everybody's portfolio is reflecting that, I'd like to imagine.
And one of the main reasons that the market is down is because of the interest rates rising. And right now, there are a lot of institutions and big money going into the government bonds. So that's been raising up TLT. I don't know if you guys caught our play on Friday. We called some 144 calls expiring next week, March 5th, and they already doubled. They're at 129% right now. So that was a really good call. And especially right now, a lot of people are thinking that it might be too late to jump into TLT. We're gonna have to see how this next week opens up, the pre-market data. The TLT and the interest rates are gonna be clue and key for everything that's gonna be coming up soon.
Touching on top of that, if you guys have not heard, 1.9 trillion, I don't know what the Fed is doing right now, but trillion stimulus has been passed by the House. So what that looks like, if everybody waiting for them stimmies, first stimulus checks, the direct deposits are going to be sent out the week of March 22nd. What happens on top of that is unemployment gets kicked back in, and there's going to be a lot of back pay thrown in as well. So people are going to be seeing anywhere from $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in back pay from what they didn't get from all the time from, I think it was December that unemployment stopped, to what we're coming into March now. So what I'm actually going to give you guys is a little shout out right now. If you guys are watching Visa, MasterCard, and the unemployment EDD distributor, Bank of America, I want you guys to pay close attention to those stocks right there, because when an unemployment hits and that back pay hits, consumer spending is gonna go sky high. A lot of people are real bad with their money, but a lot of people are gonna go out, they're gonna buy shoes, they're gonna buy clothes, they're gonna buy groceries, they're gonna buy a whole bunch of stuff that is not necessarily an investment. It's a short-term investment. I need long-term returns. So beyond, watch out for those Visa, MasterCard, and Bank of America stocks. That's my shout out to you. I know you got your eyes on the markets at all time. You got the scope hot. What have you been seeing in the markets?
You know what? This last week on Monday, I was looking at the charts for FSR all throughout the last weekend, and they looked poised and ready for an increasing uptrend. And I don't know if they released the news at the same time to continue that uptrend and give that fuel to that rally. But this whole week, FSR has been almost up 70%, if I'm not mistaken. We'll get you the right numbers right here. Check them out. But so FSR, we got the March 5th calls for 1750 strike. What does that mean? We got them for about 80 cents, 70 cents. Right now, they are already at 1,000%, and we're still holding over the weekend. Why are they up? What is going on with FSR? FSR just confirmed that they are in partnership with Foxconn, who is the manufacturer for Apple products. That's a huge deal. And now that MGA is also a part of this circle and this ecosystem, our calls on MGA are gonna print. So if you wanted to kind of hedge against the market volatility, I think those two companies are massive and they are gonna be really good. Foxconn right now is not public, but a way that you can play this is FSR and MGA.
So speaking of stocks that are up, we're actually gonna be talking something that's really down. Bitcoin has been hurting right now. It has been bouncing. It bounced off the $50,000 support level right there, and then just came straight back down. It's chilling at about 43 right now, and the market is really feeling it. All the stocks that are tied to Bitcoin, I want to make one specific call. Tesla included in that, since they put 1.5 billion into Bitcoin, have been seeing the drawback. Now the market sentiment, I believe, is seeing Tesla tied to Bitcoin directly, even though that's not necessarily the 100% case. But you have to think like the market thinks. You got to think like the individual stock traders and the institutions think. So if Bitcoin is down, Tesla's going to be down. So I'd be paying attention to Riot. I'd be paying attention to Mara. I'd be paying attention to anything that's
SOS.
connected. SOS.
SOS is connected. but they haven't really been moving too much with it.
So if you have a friend that's in Bitcoin, heavily in Bitcoin, pray for them, reach out to them, make sure that they're doing all right mentally, physically, emotionally, because it has been a rough week and it looks like it might even floor out even more. We don't know where the floor is right now for Bitcoin. It might drop back to the 35 range. I don't know.
My prediction is around 39K. We're gonna see this week, and that might be that support, that psychological 40K level might be a bounce, but they will take it into the 39K. So the people that have the stop loss at their psychological 40,000 level do get flushed out. And there's a massive, massive volume on psychological resistances and supports. So the market makers, I don't know if you've noticed, but the support level, for example, or resistance is 15 or 14, but they'll take it at 1450 or like the decimals right down under. Why? It'll hit your stop loss, it'll make you sell, and then they'll bring it right back up. One of the last topics that we want to touch on, we're gonna be looking at how the investors digest all the earnings data, because there's a lot of earnings data. All the major companies already reported these past 3-4 weeks, okay? So we're not gonna have another earnings season for another 2 months, 3 months. So all this data that we're gonna be compiling, we're gonna be going through it as well. We have been looking at a lot of cash flow balance sheets for companies. The hedge funds and the institutions are gonna be digesting everything in relation to the bonds, to the interest rates, and also market sentiment. So with the stimulus package, a lot of people are saying, hey, it's good news for the economy, bad news for the market. This is a key level to determining our trend, okay? Or are we gonna go into a recession now? Has the market been inflated by too much stimulus? Or are we gonna just keep going with this massive bull rally that has been going on for 12 years with some minor corrections and crashes? Be careful this week with defense stocks. I am gonna be calling this one right here, guys. I do call this one KTOS, Boeing, GD, General Dynamics. They are gonna be on the rise because Iran just denied nuclear talks with the US. So
that's huge.
Watch out for how the defense stocks behave, and also the UVXY could be popping on fear of that. We'll have to see. Check out also uranium, anything tied to nuclear energy. CCJ. Hey, CCJ, BBGG, what's up, what's up?
All right, guys, Lonnie.
Hey, we're ready for a great week though.
Let's jump into bullish or bearish. Yeah. So bullish or bearish, we're gonna come at you guys with what we think. Lightning round, baby. What's gonna be happening this week in the markets? Come back in next week to find out if we were right or we were wrong. What are you talking about?
No, I won last week, bro.
Oh, funny. We didn't even do last week, so.
That's why I won by default.
Who won the last time?
It was your boy Guap, of course.
Did you have any vote for that?
I got a trophy at the house. I'll send you a picture.
You got it from a cereal cart. Bullish! I'm taking Bumble to the moon, baby. Bumble to the moon, baby. All those girls keep on swiping the deeper we get in the pandemic. Even when the pandemic is over, people, the habits are gonna change. The habits are gonna stay the same. They're not gonna change. They are going to stay the same. People are so comfortable swiping right now, it's gonna be ingrained in their dating habits. People are so timid. They are so socially afraid after this pandemic. Even when the masks are gone, they're gonna still be swiping. So Bumble, sky high.
Yeah, I like Bumble for the 80, 75 range by mid-March, end of March. So we will be, I believe we'll be seeing it at that range, 75, 80, especially if the market rallies, it will go with it as well. If the market tanks, it will hold the level, I believe, of 55, 65. So we'll be seeing on Bumble. This whole week is gonna be very deciding on everything else on the market, I feel like. Bullish for this week.
Okay, all right.
They reported a $4 billion loss, and it got hyped this last week. It might be getting all those FOMO people from after the earnings. It's at around 202 level, but I do expect it to hit 180 this week. 180, 190. It will consolidate.
With the current standing of Airbnb, they are the biggest competitor in the space, so I feel like any news is good news when it comes to Airbnb. Anytime somebody hears Airbnb and the later we get into the pandemic, just from a fundamental standpoint, I think they're gonna think, I need to travel, I'm gonna use Airbnb. I'm not going to hotel.com, I'm not going to Expedia, I'm not going to Orbitz, I'm hitting Airbnb.
And let me add to that though, Booking this last week just came out with an Airbnb option. You'll be able to put your condo on booking.com now. So, sayonara Airbnb. Oh, bearish on Airbnb. Bullish with my boy Guap. So we'll be seeing this next week. We'll see who the winner is. Tilray bullish.
Yeah, I'm bullish. I gotta say bullish.
I like the wheat stocks for this week. It might be a hedge against all the other shit going on, because we do know that the revolution in cannabis is incoming, and it is gonna help the economy. It's gonna help us to pay off the taxes, to pay off our debts. People don't know this yet, but cannabis is gonna save the human race.
I think so too. I do believe that the more time that cannabis stocks get inside of the stock market, the more and more powerful that they're going to become. Cannabis is one of those things that is here to stay forever. As long as human beings are consuming any sort of product, I think cannabis is going to be ranking in at least the top 3 of consumables, and Tilray is positioning itself as an amazing, amazing competitor to take that market space.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you all had some knowledge, some value added to your day and to your portfolio.
My boy Option?
Pleasure, brother. Always.
Always.
We love you guys. Stay tuned. My stock life for no life.
That's it, baby.
Go.
I don't know if that was lying or...
Other dying jack